The gate is moving. This field is on gate. They're off in the messenger final, and Perfect Union gets the jump on them quickly at the outset from the inside. It's Winslow Gambler and Shark Gesture as they head into the first turn, and Dave Miller wasting no time putting Perfect Union on the point. Perfect Union leads it by 2.5 into the backstretch with Winslow Gambler and Shark Gesture third. Pacing fourth is PALONE Ranger, about 5 lengths from the lead. And then it's Livestrong unhurried in fifth, and Jacob Diamonds trails the field in sixth, 6.5 lengths from the lead, behind a sharp opening quarter of 28-1 on the paddock turn the first time. And it is Perfect Union at 8-5 here, the controlling speed, leading it by a length and 3/4 on Winslow Gambler. Shark Gesture looks at it from third. PALONE Ranger still on hold by Ron Pierce in fourth as they travel in single file to the half-mile pole. Livestrong still yet to get on track, and Jacob Diamonds is at the back of the pack coming to the half-mile pole. Perfect Union gets the half-mile in 56-3, 28-3 into the second quarter as they swing around the clubhouse turn. Here comes Brennan and Shark Gesture first up on the outside. PALONE Ranger still nowhere to go, and Jacob Diamonds. That's the field of 6 in the messenger final as they move down the backstretch and get a bit steppy there with Shark Gesture. Shark Gesture lost some momentum at 3/4, and Perfect Union keeps it going with Winslow Gambler in the pocket. 3/4 come up in 1:25-3, and now they're on the final turn coming after Perfect Union. On the outside, Winslow Gambler. There's room at the inside for PALONE Ranger, who could pose a threat now, and PALONE Ranger and Pierce now coming after Perfect Union. They're on their way home. Perfect Union. Here's PALONE Ranger toward the inside, and PALONE Ranger takes the lead and takes off. PALONE Ranger going away to win it in the messenger final. Second, Perfect Union, and Livestrong was third, 1:54-3. $546,000 messenger final is Four Friends Racing and Peretti Racing Stables' PALONE Ranger. Upsetting here at 10-1. Trained by Greg Peck. The winning driver, Ron Pierce. Time for the mile was 1:54-3. Ladies and gentlemen, may we direct your attention to the winner's circle. The messenger final blanket presentation to race winner PALONE Ranger and driver Ron Pierce, presented by Mr. Tom Charters, the president and COO of the Hamiltonian Society. And congratulations to all the connections of number 3, PALONE Ranger, winner of the 2006 messenger final.
Took the short way home to win the Messenger Stakes. Trainer Greg Peck, driver Ron Pierce. Let's go to the brains of the operation first. You don't mind deferring for a second, do you?
Not at all.
Okay. First start with him since you took over after the qualifier. A lot of things had to go right, you would think, for PALONE Ranger, and just about everything that could have did.
Well, a lot went right, but you got to start with the horse. It's the horse that matters, and he's a good little horse. I've always said it. Peretti Farms raises the best horses in the business, And it's a privilege to start with that kind of a horse because, you know, where I come from in the Maritime, somebody said, are you worried about racing for $500,000? And I said, no, I was more worried about racing for 500 in my olden days, and we had no money to really get there or get back. So it feels good, but it starts there. But Peretti Farms and crew, and my crew, Eric Warren, that works for me, and Mal Lynn's been with me for years, and Ronnie did a great job. But again, it comes back to getting the horse, doing right by them, and putting him in the right position to do the job, and he did. And thank God for Bob Marks, because, you know, he had faith in me, and Bill Peretti came along, and you know, it worked out well, and Anthony and everything. So, you know, I really got to thank the team. I really, really do. It's really a team effort.
Talk to me about the PALONE Ranger. The resume was certainly there. $380,000 last year as a 2-year-old. Winless this year. How did you, obviously the trip was certainly very beneficial. What were you looking to bring out of him entering this race to suggest that he could put a performance in like this?
Had to relax. That's the big thing. And I felt a lot of confidence when I warmed him up tonight, because you could just see he slid around this track extremely well. And I kind of watched the other horses not, and people had suggested the track wasn't that good. I thought the track was great tonight. I really did. Nice cushion on it, and Yonkers did a great job getting it done. And the man with the hands, I mean, he's foxy. I mean, when you get him in a big race and he has those light hands, he relaxed the horse well, and the horse gets a little feisty and around the last turn. But, you know, Ronnie did the job, and Ronnie was interested. He called me this week, and, you know, he was up for it. He did a great job.
The foxy man with the hands, Ron Pierce. Sometimes you just kind of mind your own business, and you ask for go at the right time, and showed him the passing lane, and he did.
Yeah, he sure did. Greg had him extremely sharp. He told me tonight that going into the race that he felt he was just as good as anything in there. He just needed the right kind of trip. So we were able to work out a perfect trip right up the inside, and the little horse exploded in the lane. I never even pulled his earplugs. I think I just tapped him maybe once or twice with the whip.
Was there a point in the race, I don't want to get you run over here, this would really bother a lot of people, me not so much, you maybe, that you felt if you had a free shot up the lane or at some point in the stretch that he'd have enough horse to go on by?
Yeah, the horse felt good the whole mile. When Shark Jester come off the wood there going past the half there, I followed him. I didn't like the way he looked, so I ducked back in, and I still knew we were in good shape because Shark Jester wasn't keeping up that good. So I knew we were going to get out. It was just whether we took went around those horses in front of us or up the inside. So we wound up taking the short way around, where he'd have beat him if I'd have went the long way around also.
PALONE Ranger very sharp. I'd be remiss again.
Race 5 official. Number 3.